What kind?
It was a little Chrysler Crossfire that was built by Mercedes in Germany. I've had 6 of these, and this has been about the nicest one. And the guy in Weirden had it, and he wanted to trade it for a Corvette. And he didn't want the Corvette that I had. He found another one, so he asked me to buy it. I paid $5,000 for it and sold it for $8,000. And I told, here it is. Here's Eli sitting there. There's Eli sitting there.
Oh, that's it.
Sold for $8,000. He goes, what's the least you'll take? I said, if you offer me $7,999, I'll keep. I'm not selling it. I'll keep this one. So he paid it today.
Good little margin. Buying a stock at 5, selling it at 8.
I had one identical to that, but it was yellow. One time I went to the auction, and they had a yellow one like it, and it was in convertible too. And I looked at it and I said, I want this car. I don't care what it costs. I scanned it and I said that wholesale was $6,000 and retail was $85,000. I ended up paying $10,000. Now I'm thinking, are you sure? Now that I own it, I walk out to it and I look and I say, what do I own? And that guy followed me. He goes, hey, you bought that car, I want that car. He says, I'm not a dealer, I'm with another guy, and he wouldn't bid anymore, but I want that car. I'll give you $100 more than you paid. And I said, nah, I'm going to take it home. He goes, what do you want about this car? I said, $11,500. Well, I paid $10,000. I said, $11,500. He goes, you got it. I'll write your check right now. I said, no, I'm taking it home. Said, yeah. Because when I got home with it, it wasn't as nice as I thought. It wasn't as nice as this one.
Well, that's good, yeah. People know their cars. That's what they, yeah. You must have watched that.
Why do you have to sit out?
Well, I think they break between one of the. Yeah, I mean, if you're getting quick outs, bam, bam. Yeah, they do go fast.
So, Kutcher, man, he's moving up the list of all time.
Clemente now, right?
He tied for home runs. They both have 320 or 21, whatever it is, in home runs. And the next guy on the list for him to catch it, who really started of some significance, he needs like 37 hits to catch really what he did.
37 hits?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
To catch the, not home runs, but hits. He couldn't catch really.
Yeah, that's what I thought Willie would start.
But in just base hits like people always have. Total hits.
Stay in the park, Coda.
I spent my life on a ball for baseball. I love baseball.
Like he hit like 400
The game hasn't changed much, maybe the.
It has, for me it has, because nobody chokes up anymore. In major leagues, they don't choke up. They're all trying to get a home run. The art of bunting has seemed like it's gone.
Never see. Well, that kind of went out when the pitcher came out. The pitcher would always be the guy bunting, the 8-man over, 8-man gets a hit. Pitcher's going to try to get him second.
Right. I love the pitch count. I love the pitch clock.
Pitch clock's good. I don't think, I think they baby these pitchers way too much.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds.
Yeah, the more they make, the more they baby. I mean, back in the day, the guys would pitch you only had 4 starting pitchers. They would pitch every 4th day, and they didn't have a pitch count. Nolan Ryan threw 260-some pitches in that. He was better at 260 pitches thrown than anybody they had in the bullpen.
I mean, I just don't.
Jaden is like 87 years old.
Yeah, this pitch. Yeah, you never see any complete game. If somebody goes 7 innings, they go, oh wow.
Yeah, right. Quality start. Well, the Pirates, you know, the Pirates have the best starting pitching in the National League. All 5 of their starters are in the top 24 in ERA for the whole league. But their relief pitchers are killing them. Like yesterday, they come in and walk 4 guys in 1 inning. That's how many runs scored to beat them.
Yeah. No relief pitching. Can't hit the ball.
But what's changed in baseball is you're not allowed to run over the catcher. Not only are you not allowed to run over the catcher's not allowed to be in front of the plate.
Yeah.
There's the runner at third, he ain't allowed to be here. He has to be. If he catches the ball, he's here. Oh, he's out of bounds. No, he's blocking his blade. He can't do that.
That's the Posey rule. Is that right? Or no?
Yeah, that's when. Yeah, that's. Yeah, right. He's the one that got hurt really bad, and they started thinking seriously about. But you know, little high school, it was really funny. Joey Guerrero, he's a plumber now. And his brother Vince is the attorney.
Yeah. Vince is a member of Williams.
Well, Joey, when he was in high school, he was coming from Uganda, and he's playing up at Oakland, and it's probably, I don't know, early 80s maybe. And they had high school baseball, they just put that in where you're not allowed to run over the catcher. If you run over the catcher, not only are you out, you're thrown out of bounds. So here comes Joey Guerrero, and he runs over to Oakland. And he's out from here to the camera, but he's going to take him out. So I called him out, and I said, and they're mad because I called him out because the catcher dropped the ball. When they found out he was playing the next game, they're on my ass. And so when I went to the bar, his dad, who used to be a mill cop, he came after me. He said, "Oh shit, where'd you ever learn baseball? We play baseball, we run people over." I said, "They just put the rule in." Oh, and John Banaszak, by the way. So John Banaszak is same thing. So now, a few years later, it goes to college baseball. College baseball, it wasn't about the catcher, it was about breaking the double play up. They put the rule in, you're not allowed to go in and take out the second baseman, the pivot man. You have to go straight into the base, and if you go in and take him out, it's an automatic double play. So John Banaszak, he gets hired by W&J to be assistant football coach, but he's the head baseball coach too. And here, the first time I have it called, it's against them. And he comes out on the field and he goes, "Hey, what the hell's that? I've never heard of that." I said, "You just put it in. They just put this rule in." He goes, "Well, I don't like the rule." I said, "I don't like the rule either, but both guys are out." So then he's at, Teddy, your uncle, used to give us tickets to go to New Year's Eve up at Mountaineer.
Oh, yeah.
And Elsie Green, your dad would get him, and your dad would always take me and Donna, and Augie's there, and a few others. And we would sit next to, up in the front, where Ted, I don't know, and all those. We're not with them, but we're at the front where the band's playing. And Elsie grinned with all this. Well, one year, Dan was and I went over and I said, "You probably don't remember me, but I'm an umpire." He goes, "You just run my night."
Bringing up bad memories.
You remember that call, that forced play?
Did he remember it?
No. He just said, "You just run my night." Yeah, but he did coach the baseball team. I mean, he was football. I know he was.
WJ had some good football teams back in the day.
You know that WJ back in the turn of the century, early 1900s, would beat Pitt in West Virginia so bad that Pitt in West Virginia couldn't get on the field with WJ. WJ won the national championship. So they had this guy from Parkersburg, West Virginia. I don't know if I ever told you the story. I'm trying to think of his name. He's Greasy Mill. You ever hear of Greasy Mill? So there's a guy named, listen to this guy, Greasy Mill. Greasy, that was his name.
Yeah.
So he's from Parkersburg. Now he played on Parkersburg sports teams, but he never went to school. And he was good enough. This is we're talking 1910, 1912. Okay, so back then you didn't have the NFL, but you had the Bulldogs, whatever they are. They're Massillon Tigers.
Yeah.
Not just a high school team. They had the first professional team. That's why the Hall of Fame's in Canton. So Canton and Akron and Massillon and a few other Ohio teams had the first professional football team. They weren't called the National Football League. But you had the Massillon Tigers. But Greasy Mill ends up playing for 2 or 3 of those things every year being traded to different teams. At the same time that he's doing that, after he went to Parker, he's on the Cincinnati Reds team in 1919. Beats the White Sox when they flew the World Series. But they call him the Black Sox. He's the MVP of the 1919 World Series for the Cincinnati Reds when the White Sox flew the series. After that, he goes to WJ as the head coach. And they win the national championship in like 1923. In the Rose Bowl or something out in Pasadena. So when they played WVU at Pitt, Pitt wasn't called Pitt back then. It was called Western Pennsylvania University or whatever it was called. It wasn't called Pitt. The WVU was so bad that they would try to take players, just like they're doing today. Hey, you're good, come play on our team. I mean, it was just the ragtag teams back then. But W&J and some of these small schools like that, they were older than Pitt and West Virginia. They were already established. You know, Harvard and Yale, they've won more football championships than Ohio State or Alabama ever have. Of course, they don't, that was back in 1890.
Yeah.
1901, 1902. Harvard would win every year, Princeton.
That Army and Navy would be really good back in the war days.
During the war days, it was, it was popular being a military. People didn't go to college back then.
I can't believe I just swung and hit the zone.
Very few went to college. People didn't finish high school. My sister never finished high school. My older sister, Vivi, she didn't finish high school. Junior didn't finish high school. He got his GED in the Army. Tony was the first one to finish high school.
Is that right? Yeah. He didn't need it back then.
He was getting the workforce.
Yeah. Start making money. Well, it's been big news around. I'm sure you're, with the U.S. Steel, Nippon, and Trump was over in Western, PA down in the Mon Valley.
He was at the airport when your Uncle Eli was there. We were leaving to come up to Tiffany's party, and I'm watching the news, and they said Trump was supposed to speak at 5 o'clock. His party started at 5. And here he hadn't arrived at the airport yet. It was 4:30. We were getting ready to leave to go to your party. And I'm thinking, well, Trump's at the airport right now. We're only 5 minutes away from where the president is. And here Eli, he's at the airport.
And Cleveland Cliffs stock was up 25% today. Trump announced steel tariffs on China and aluminum, and so all these really depressed steel stocks are starting to.
I'm sure it'll help a little. It can't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
This should have been done 30-some years ago.
Exactly. Well, they said it's going to bring 10,000 jobs into the Mon Valley, which is significant. I mean, Mon Valley really could use a shot in the arm like that.
Yeah, the Mon Valley was big with steel right from Burns. The other day, Saturday, a guy comes on, young guy, 22 years old, and he has a F-150 pickup, an old one, and I have this Audi. It's a 2010 Audi with a 5800 on it. And he had called me. He says, "I want to trade my. You do trades?" And I go, "Yeah." So he drives from Bell Vernon, and he spent about an hour there. So we finally did the deal. I told him he had to give me money. He ended up giving me just $750. But he thought we'd trade even. I'm a dealer. I'm supposed to. You're not supposed to.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not trading even. I already got what I want. You want this car? And because his truck wasn't. It was about. It's pretty rough. It was rusty. But anyway, I said, "Well, you're from Bell Vernon." I said, "Where'd you go to high school?" He goes, "Bell Vernon High." I said, "How old are you?" 22. I said, "You know a kid named Markella?" He knows Markella. He knows the whole family. And I said, "You guys got the ugliest field." He started laughing. He goes, "Lisa don't look like Boise State."
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, he probably knows all the.
His name was Hunter Wingan, W-I-G-A-N-D.
Okay.
So he knew Markella and his little brother.
Here you go, Coda.
I was showing him Nathan's picture, and I said, "Nathan played with Markella."
Yeah, they're roommates from college. You know, they lived together all the whole time that they were together. Freshman year in the dorms, and they outside.
I heard it. When you're umpiring, you know, when the bat nicks the ball, or Nick just nicks the hitter, you don't actually see it. I didn't actually see it.
Oh yeah,
You can hear the nick, you know.
I heard that. Ouch.
I can play baseball.
Yeah, Eli had all his family in this weekend.
Yeah, it was nice.
Do you see him today, or
No,
are
he
they
didn't come.
gone?
He didn't come
Okay.
down. He come down Saturday though. He came down Saturday and. But
Oh,
not,
did he?
Not
Okay.
today. Yeah, the next day he did. I was telling him I was talking to his grandson who plays baseball. I thought he was in high school. The kid's huge.
Yeah, he's a big kid. Yeah, he really is.
Well, he showed me. I said I love baseball. I started talking to him. He shows me a video of him run, and I said, "An umpire." And I made a comment. He goes, "Oh, that's Donnie Law." I said, "Oh, now I know why." I mean, when the pitch came in, the umpire he hits a home run. As the pitch is coming in, the umpire he's like jumping away from it, like he's afraid. And that's Donnie Law. Well, Donnie Law comes down on my car lot almost every day.
Is he the one that's hard to understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when Melinda and I were down there, and you know, he was saying so. I'm like,
Yeah.
Melinda, what did he say?
He walks, he drags his feet.
Yeah.
And your dad said, Eli said, see, I goes, I examined his eyes. I can't see nothing.
That's great.
He calls your uncle Eli Dr. Checkup. Eli prescribed these. I just got these.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are nice. I noticed that.
Yeah, he just prescribed these. I just start. They're good for distance. I don't wear them in the house or any other time. But driving,
Yeah.
or watching a game.
Steven said his kid's going to Oakland.
Yeah.
So you're allowed going wherever you want.
And
in West
Anthony,
Virginia,
yeah,
right?
and Anthony's
Yeah,
going
going
on
to
the
Brook.
pro.
Yeah.
So we're Ryan Madonna's losing. That's what they do now, just like college. Go wherever you want.
But he's only in 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
So he played middle school.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
And he's big.
yeah, he played travel ball this past summer for Tim Zarowski. I don't know if you remember Tim Zarowski. His son was a year older than me. He's a big baseball guy. And he actually coached that Austin Hendrick kid,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
in travel ball.
He's with Cincinnati. I
Yeah,
thought.
who's now. And so Tim knows what he's doing. He has a really successful team because his son is Caden's age. So, you know, I guess Steven's son tried out for Tim Zarowski's team, and Tim took him. He said, but I guess it wasn't a good experience. And I guess Tim's like, yeah, he's very self-defeatist type person. You know, he's playing against good competition. He's not doing well, and he's just down on
How
himself.
long ago was that? Was that
This past
recent?
summer, yeah.
Oh, it
Just
was.
this past summer,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But he was going up against, sure, a lot better than middle school Oakland. He was going up against best travel kids in Western Pennsylvania, Ohio, all over these national tournaments.
Yeah. Well, that's what Rich Donnelly said. Rich Donnelly, he was in professional baseball 52 years or whatever. He says he helps with a lot of local kids, high school kids, academy. He says all these parents think their kids are the next Mickey Mantle. Because they haven't seen, I tell them, you haven't seen the Dominican kids yet. Because they'll bring a plane load of Dominican kids and they're all way better than our kids.
Yeah.
All the major league teams, he said, have academies in the Dominican Republic. And they go and they get these kids when they're 10 and 12 years old and tell their families, we're going to take your kid, we're going to send him to school, we're going to teach him how to proper manners, we're going to feed him, we're going to teach them their school. We're going to give them clothes, and they're going to play baseball. And they're fine with that. And then when they come, when they're about 15 or 16, and they're good, and they think they can play professionally, they'll say, hey, look, this $500,000. Take your son, sit back. And they're like, thank you.
Yeah,
And
get them out of this.
then they
third
come to
world country.
America, and then they start sorting them out. Like, this kid we thought was going to make it, but we're going to have to cut him and send him back. They found out, don't tell them the night they're going to send him to the don't tell them that night. They go into hiding. They ain't going back. So now they found out, don't tell them until the morning when we're driving.
Yeah, take them to the airport.
All of a sudden they disappear. They go AWOL.
Well, can't blame them. Third world country to having everything that every luxury. Imagine a couple $100,000 in the Dominican goes a long way if they give them the if they give the family some money.
Early.
Johnny. Play on this field next.
Yeah.
What was the score of that last time?
Last score we lost.
It's weird. Yeah, you were hitting them right at them.
Yeah, they looked like meatballs, but
Did everybody drop their shells, right?
yeah, we did.
Which kid did you? I came in the back way. I missed it. Did you guys?
See, I parked
right here.
It took me in this way.
Down that way.
Yeah.
I came in the back because I missed the main entrance. I went down another mile. The GPS brought me in the back.
Play the purple team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. Like 5-4 game.
That's crazy, isn't it? I was rounding
Who
third.
does this? Is that
And you weren't at home.
They do it. They post it on YouTube.
is there a voice on it?
Yeah.
It's our whole conversation.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
can
be
re-listen to your conversation and hopefully nothing too bad.
not a good story. No, don't show it to Donnie a lot.
You know. Oh.
Who else did we make fun of? Probably the guy.
Actually, I hope it's a fun game because this is where we practice to know each other. So, that's oh wow, this is definitely better. We're playing in a I'm playing in a national tournament later this month in July. And I was at it 2 years ago, and they had real umpires there. But what did he do? I forget his name. I remember I texted it to you. He asked, like, he saw my last name and asked me if I knew it was related to, I think he said Eli. But, and then I said how my grandpa was named, and then how you're my grandpa. His name, but he had some weird connection, yeah.
Terry's still on. My brother Terry's still on fire.
Really?
So his tobacco name's out there.
Yeah.
I have an umpire for some years. Terry and Georgie got tickets for the U.S. Open. They're going out Thursday before the umpire.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you are going up?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a
I
long
wanted to go as a volunteer.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't accept me because they had a fantasy camp the same weekend. That would cause the problem.
You see that called strike 3 on Henry Davis the other night?
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about that.
Yeah, the guy was just called up from AAA, but the umpire was.
Yeah.
The umpire was.
He was calling a lot of strikes
Oh,
out
that
of his
umpire was called up?
Yeah, that was like his first major league
Are you
game.
serious? I didn't.
Well, one of his first. Yeah, he had just somebody who was sick on the crew, so they called him up. I don't know why they would give him don't play.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they all got to take turns.
Don't they just rotate per game? So that if there's a 4-game series, they all can rotate. I saw something on Twitter that said that the umpire didn't even say anything. Just let Don Kelly yell at him. It's the first time I've seen it.
What about, there's another guy like that went like this on his head and he got tossed out. What was that?
Oh, really?
You said, what does it mean when you get your tackle?
So that's from spring training when they did the you could challenge it, like say a pitch comes in, and then if they go like that, they check it real quick.
So the catcher, the pitcher, or the batter?
Yeah.
So that's like showing the umpire up as the tackle.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because you know that's not the rule.
Yeah.
But in spring training, I think they were allowed 2 misses. You could challenge as much as you want.
Yeah.
You miss 2.
You're done. It's like challenges. It's like challenges.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Someday, probably sooner than we think, where it's fully automated. But I just, I
need
think there
umpires,
needs.
but
Yeah,
It's going to be
there is.
it's going to be like that screen.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
that
You have it on
screen.
TV.
Yeah.
That screen, if he throws a pitch, there's a chance that pitcher's going to ball.
Yeah, it could hit the batter.
Well, not only that, but let's say he has one that comes up here and you call him loose. It's up there. Boom, hits it.
Oh, yeah.
When we were kids, we used to go up to Edgewood. We had a concrete wall, and we would draw with we didn't have a clock, we put the rock.
Yeah.
All right, we're up.
Draw straight to
Sandstone rock.
we get the straight like this. And when the pitch would come in, we had the knees.